Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to use File Explorer. But to use it, we're going to need some files to play around with. So using Chrome, why don't you go to the site csa105.com and click on the page for Basic Concepts. And once you get there, you want to download the file named 6 File Management Exercise Compressed. I highly recommend that you practice these skills along with me. All you need to do is click the pause button, okay, in the lower right corner. Oh, sorry, lower left corner, and then you can pause it and then go over to your virtual desktop, hold down the Windows key and the Control key, and just tap the right arrow key. It takes you over to your other desktop. Practice the skills there, and then come on back here. Okay, hold down the Control key and the Windows key, and the left arrow key. Come back here, and then continue on with the video. If you're using the Mac, of course, the keys are a little different. You're going to be using the Control key, right arrow, Control key, left arrow. But however you do it, okay, practice these. They're really important skills. I'm going to switch over to my other desktop using virtual desktops and do exactly that. Okay, down in my taskbar, I've already got Chrome set up here, so I'm going to click on the beach ball. Okay, that takes me over automatically there. And if you're not there, just type in the address csa105.com up here in the address bar. And once you get there, you go to the page called Basic Concepts. Click on Basic Concepts and scroll down here, and you want to find the file 6 File Management Exercise Compressed. So we'll just select it. Okay, I'm just going to select it too so you can see it. Okay, you don't need to do that. What you do need to do is go over here and click on the downward facing arrow to download that file into your system. So click on that button there. And you'll see in the little button here in the lower left corner of Chrome indicating that it's been downloaded. And if you click on the arrow next to it, you can have some options there, one of which is to show it in folder. So you click and show in folder, and there we go. Okay, so this comes up here. Okay, this is File Explorer. It's showing us this PC, local disk C, users demo, and it's in the downloads folder. Right here is the file here. It's a compressed folder. Okay, if you were to look at this in a larger view, if I click on the view here and go to extra large icons, you can see it has a zipper on it because it's using this special compression technique called zip. PK-zip, and that's nice, but we want to change the view back to details. I'm going to click on details, go back here, and we want to get it out. Think of the compressed folder as an envelope. It has a bunch of things in there and makes them smaller, and it's a good idea whenever you want to send a bunch of files to someone to use a compressed folder. Okay, so now we've got a compressed folder. We want to get the things out of there. So what do? Well, when in doubt, right click. So I'm going to put my pointer on the name of the file, press down the right mouse button. Okay, on the Mac, you want to use the Control key and then click it. But here I use the right mouse button that brings up a menu. And I'm going to go down here, actually at the top there, and go to Extract All. Okay, that's going to take it out. Okay, and then it's going to put it into different things here. Now, by default, it usually has this checkbox here, checked. On the homework, it's going to say uncheck it. So be sure to uncheck it in the homework. In real life, it doesn't really matter which you do. But just to be like the homework, I'm going to uncheck it. Now it's going to put this in the downloads folder. Okay, in the downloads folder. Well, I don't want it to be in the downloads folder. I want it to be in the documents folder. So I'm going to change this. And the homework doesn't need you to do this, but I'll do it here. Click on Browse, and I want to go to Documents. Here's Documents right here. So click on Documents. This is the Save As dialog box. So I'm just going to click on Documents here. There's the thing here. These are the 3 folders already there. Well, that's nice. Okay, I'm just going to click on Select Folder to put it into the Documents folder like so. And now you can see that it's going to go into the Documents folder, which is exactly what I want. So then I just click on the Extract button down at the bottom. And now it's going to do what? It's going to put it into the, well, let's go take a look here. I'm going to scroll up on the left side. Click on Documents, and there it is, File Management Exercise. Okay, that was the folder that was inside the compressed folder. And if I double click on this to open it up, and there it is. Okay, it's 2 folders and a bunch of files. Right now, good. Now, if I want to go back to the parent folder, okay, back into the Documents folder, okay, there's 3 ways I can do that. Number 1 is I can click on the arrow going up, okay, or If I go back in here, just double click again, I could just click on the name of the parent folder in the address bar here. That takes me back, and I'll go back again, just open it up one more time. And the other way to do it is usually with the back button. Click on the back button, brings us the same place. Okay, well, I do want to be inside there, so I'm going to just double click there, and we get that. And that's good there, and we can just go and take a look at this. Now, File Explorer, in the previous version of Windows, they called it Windows Explorer. Same exact thing, does the same thing, looks the same. Okay, but we want to take a look at it and do certain things. Now, one of the best things about it is the details view. There are no less than 8 views that you could choose from, but the best one is the details view, which gives you a nice column, which gives you this nice look with a bunch of columns there, which comes in pretty handy. If we go back here, you can see I've got, let me just close down the browser. I got the browser in the background here. I don't need this anymore, so I'm just going to minimize it, get it out of the way. There we go. And you can see here, this is File Explorer. I've got a bunch of tabs here. I've got the Home tab, Share tab, View tab. If you don't see all the buttons there, what you could do is just right-click one of the tabs, and choose to unminimize it. Let me just show you how that works. If it's minimized, I don't see all the buttons on the ribbon. If I right-click one of the tabs and uncheck that checkbox, now I see all the buttons there. Well, I want to go back into the Home tab, and you see all the buttons there. And if I click on the View tab, it shows me the different views. Right now, it's in the Details view. If I just rest my pointer on the various icons, the various buttons, it shows you different views. And you can see some are better than others. They all have different reasons for being. And I find the most useful one is Details, because A number gives us a lot of information about each of the files, and it gives it to us in a way that we can use it in tabular format, which we can change around and look at it in various ways. Okay, good. So that's the Details view. I highly recommend that when you're using File Explorer. Now, one of the great things about Details View, it lets you sort the files very easily. Let's go back into our File Explorer. Right now, the files are sorted how? It looks like they're sorted alphabetically. Okay, if you look at the files, it seems to be alphabetical. In fact, if you look up at the top here in the name there, you can see it's got a little arrow there. Okay, the arrow's pointing up, which means it's sorted by name alphabetically. If I click the word name, now the arrow changes direction, and the sort changes direction too. It's now in reverse alphabetical order. If I go over here and click in Date Modified, now it's sorted by date with the most recent at the top. Or if I sort here type, and then sorted by type, or go here, it's sorted by size with the largest files at the top. So it's very easy to sort your files, and I find it very handy usually to get the most recent file at the top of the list, because that's the one I was working on recently. But you can use whatever you want here. I'm going to go back to the way it was, click on Name, and now it's sorted again by name in alphabetical order. Okay, you can group files too. If you've got a lot of files of different types, you can group them to make it easier to look at them. All you need to do is right-click any place in the white space in File Explorer and choose the Group By option that appears in the shortcut menu. Okay, once you get there, just click on Group By and then choose what you want to group by. Okay, what property you want to group it. Okay, let's actually try that. Here's File Explorer here. There's lots of white space. I'm going to just right-click over here in the white space and go to Group By. Comes up with a bunch of options. I'm going to group by type, and you can see now it's grouped by type, and that looks pretty nice. If I want to get back to the way it was, I can right click again in the white space over here, do group by, and choose none. Group by none. It goes back to the way it was. You can filter files. If you have a lot of files and you just want to see certain files that meet a certain specification, you can do that as well. What you basically do is put your pointer on the column header that you're interested in. A little arrow will pop up, and you just click on that arrow. Once you do that, basically a list of all the different types show up, and you can choose the checkbox for the file type that you want. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Now, here we go. Okay, I'm going to just first I'm going to sort it by name. There we go, sorted alphabetically by name. See the arrow there? And I'm going to just rest my pointer on the word type, and you can see then an arrow pops up. And if I click on that arrow, I can choose which type I want to filter by. I'm going to just get the checkbox for text document, and now only text documents are shown there. If I click in the white space, that little menu goes away. If I want to get everybody back again, I can just click on that little arrow there and just uncheck. And can make it go away, and now I see everybody again. If you want to rename a file, it's pretty easy. Let's go back here and take a look. You can see one of the folders here is actually misspelled, so let's fix that. Okay, there are two ways to do it. One is I can right-click it and go down here and choose rename. Okay, just choose rename here. Okay, or another way is to just do a slow double click, not a fast double click. That'll open up the folder. Do a slow double click. So I'll click it once and click it again. Okay, click it again, and there it goes there. Okay, now it's all highlighted there. So now what I want to do is just click someplace near where the spelling error is. Click right there, and I'm just going to use my arrow key to move to the right, and then just going to do backspace, get rid of the CI, and put them in correct order. I and then C. That's good. Now I want to enter the name into the new folder there. So I just hit the Enter key on the keyboard, and now I have a new name there. Okay, good. So just remember that you right-click and choose rename, or just do a slow double-click and change the file name. Exactly like you notice that there's no spell checker in the File Explorer. Okay, there we go. Okay, now you can also tag files. This makes it easier to find the files at some future date. I must confess, I rarely, if ever, use this feature. But unfortunately, the people who design the final exam and the homeworks, they have a tendency to ask you how to do this. So it's a good idea to know how to do it. Okay, it's fairly simple. All you need to do is right-click the particular file that you want to tag. Okay, good. In the menu that pops up, choose Properties. Okay, right-click, then choose Properties. And then a little menu will pop up like that. You choose the tab for Details, and then just click where it says Tags. Okay, click in this box there for tags, and just put whatever tag that they tell you to do there. All right, let's go back here and try that. Here's my, I have a file here, a nice Word file here. I'm going to right-click on that file and go down here to Properties. Okay, remember, right-click always brings up a menu. And in the little dialog box that appears, I'm going to click the tab for Details. Okay, and there's tags right there. Okay, now if I click it, nothing really happens except the highlighting. If I go over here, then the box will appear, and now I can just go there and type in the tag that I want. So I'm going to put in, say, Word file. Okay, all right, doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's how you do it. All right, when you finish, you just click OK, and now that file is tagged, and presumably it makes it easier to find this file in the future. Now, it often happens if you want to move a bunch of files or copy them, it's better, you could do it one by one, but it's better to do a whole bunch of them at the same time. And there's a couple of ways. Look at this, 4 different ways to select a whole bunch of different files. Okay, let's take a look and see how we do that. Okay, we've got a bunch of files here. And if we want to select all the files here, all these different cards, we can click on the first one and then hold down the Shift key. Notice what happens when I hold down the Shift key. Nothing. It doesn't do anything by itself. It changes the way other things work. Now, if I click on the last one, it selects the whole group. Okay? All right, good. Another way I could do it is if I click on the first file and now hold down the Shift key and use the arrow key, the down arrow key on the keyboard. Do it once, twice, 3, 4. There we go. Okay. The Shift key, that will expand the selection going down. Okay, interesting. I'm going to click over here to unselect that. Okay, now another way to do it is put your pointer down here in the white space and just hold down the left mouse button and draw a box that touches all the 5 files. And that's another way. So if the files are next to each other, there are 3 ways to select them. One is use the Shift key. Okay, also you could use the Shift key plus the down arrow key, or you could draw a box around them. Okay, now, but what happens if the files are not right next to each other? For example, if we wanted to select the 3 spades cards, we have 8 of spades, King of spades, Queen of spades. Okay, they're not right next to each other. In that case, you don't use the Shift key, you use the Control key. So I'm going to click on the first file. There we go. And now hold down the Control key on the keyboard, and I click the second one and the third one. And now I let go of the Control key, and my 3 files are selected. Okay, now once they're selected, then you can move them around, do things. What you do is just take one of them. Okay, say for example, I want to delete these files. Okay, I'm going to grab this 8 of spades, put my pointer on the name. Okay, put the point of the pointer right on the name there. hold down the left mouse button and just drag it and drop it up here into the recycle bin there. Just go right there, drop it in there, boom, and all 3 files go. Okay, simple, right? Okay, good. Now I don't want to delete those, so what I'm going to do is right click. Actually, I'm going to double click, open this up, the recycle bin, open the recycle bin. There's my 3 files. I'm going to select them all. I'm just going to draw a box around them. Okay, and then I'm going to restore them. So I'm just going to click on the right click and choose restore. And all 3 of them restored. I can close down the recycle bin. I'm back here into my File Explorer. And let's go back into our slideshow. There we go. Okay, now we used a compressed file, a compressed folder before. We can also compress things ourselves. All right, how do we do that? Very simple. Just select the files and then right click and choose Send to Compressed Zipped Folder. Right? Remember, the compression technique they use is the zip format, so that's why we chose that. All right, now if we want to get the file open again, we can just right-click and just choose Extract All. So let's see how we do that. Okay, we've got a bunch of files here. Let's say we want to take the, let me put them in alphabetical order again. Whoops. Here we go, in alphabetical order. I've got my spades. I want to take the spades and put them into a compressed folder. Okay, so I'm going to click on the 8 of spades, hold down the Control key, click, whoops, I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm going to click on the 8 of spades, hold down the Control key, hit the King of spades, Queen of spades. Okay, 3 of them are selected. Now I right-click one of them. In this case, I'm going to right-click the Queen, and down. Here's send to. Okay, there's send to. Okay, send to. Bunch of different options. I'm going to send it to a compressed zipped folder. So I'll click on that. Okay, comes up. There it is. It puts it as the name of the file that I had selected. So I put that. Of course, I don't want to do that. I'll just put the word spades. There we go. It's spades. Hit the Enter key. And now my compressed folder is called spades. If I double click inside it, I can see the 3 files like so. I'm going to click the up arrow to go back up. Okay, to the parent folder. There it is there. Now, if I want to open this up, okay, what I can do is, again, just right-click it. Right-click, choose Extract All. Okay, it's going to put it into my folder here, which is fine. So I'll just click on Extract. And there it is there. There's my spades folder uncompressed. Okay, and if I double-click on it, there's the spades there. Okay, I'm going to go back up, click the up button to go back up. And now I don't need this anymore. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of it. Right-click this and choose Delete. And right-click this compressed folder. Don't need this anymore. I'm going to choose Delete too. In our next video, we're going to see how we can manage files using File Explorer. And what that means is we're going to copy and move them around.